Ernie, thank you so much for the time. How are you doing today?
Doing great. It's great to be with you guys.
This must be incredibly exciting for you and everybody associated with Shepherd.
There's no question. We're really excited. I think the Chicago Bears have a huge fan base in the Eastern Panhandle of West Virginia. It's been a lot of fun watching Tyson from when he signed, actually going through the Senior Bowl, when he signed, OTAs, summer camp, and where he is today. But our whole program, our whole university, this community is extremely proud of what Tyson's accomplishing so far, and we're all rooting for the Bears on Sunday.
Did you think he was going to leave you at some point, Ernie? Along the way, there were Division I transfer offers, correct?
There were, and he was very transparent with the whole process with me. He sat down after talking to his family, thought it was something he just wanted to see what was out there. And he did tell me, he said, Coach, I'm only going to leave for something spectacular. And that would have been Notre Dame, LSU, somewhere like that. And he was a man of his word. He was in the portal for 10 days and decided he wanted to stay at Shepherd and play his senior year. And I think he told one of his teammates, he envisioned himself at one of the schools he visited on senior day versus being on senior day here in Rams Stadium. And I think that helped it out quite a bit.
Did you think he could be an NFL quarterback if he stayed with you? And did you do anything to help make that happen in that way?
I 100% thought he would be an NFL quarterback. The way the kid prepares, his work ethic, his poise, his competitiveness, just the way he could lead a team, and having a chance to, obviously being a football coach for 30 years, seeing different quarterbacks, how they operate. I thought Tyson had all the characteristics and traits to play in the NFL, but I was also one of his biggest fans. So it was easy for me to think that. It was my job. I wanted to give him every opportunity to, one, excel and really show his tools, what he could do as a coach. I think our whole coaching staff bought into that. And that's the player that's there today. But no, it does not surprise me.
How do you think he played against the Vikings?
You know what? The highlights I saw the sack, strip, fumble for a touchdown. And I saw the last interception. So that's all I had a chance to see.
Oh boy!
But when I went back, we're working on Sundays ourselves, and so then when I had a chance to go back and watch the highlights and really look at his stats, he must have been really productive. I thought 10 for 14. He had 80 some yards, and I know how efficient he is and how he can see the whole field. He's going to get the ball to the right guy. I had a chance to watch his post-game or one of his press conferences when he talks about the last interception and how he put that on himself. He needed to be better, live to play the next play. And, but he's the kind of guy that Chicago is going to have, and he's going to leave it all out there to win the game for the Bears.
Yeah, no, he was very impressive at his Wednesday press conference. We played basically the entirety of it here on the show. This is maybe a sports radio question and not a coach question, but I'll ask it anyway.
Sure.
Who do you comp him to? Like, what's he like? Who should we be expecting here?
I think you get a guy a lot like Drew Brees.
Oh, that would
probably
work.
Had some. That'd be fine. Has some question marks, limitations coming out of school, college. Has a tremendous work ethic, tremendous competitiveness. That's who when I hear about how Drew Brees prepared as a player, those are the same characteristics I see in Tyson Bagent.
This is a 2-time offensive player of the year. He led the league in passing 7 times. We're talking about the same Drew Brees, just to be clear.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same one. Yes.
Okay.
The same one would have kept Nick Saban with the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly right.
Yeah. Same Drew Brees.
Same Drew Brees.
Now, Danny,
Okay.
You're looking at numbers that resulted from a Sean Payton offense and a offensive line and everything like that. And he's talking about characteristics, but that's interesting. Coach McCook, you were the offensive coordinator for 9 years before you were the head coach, right? So this is your offense that Tyson has been running.
It is,
Okay.
yes. I was actually the offensive coordinator for really the last 20 years. And then when I became the head coach,
Mm-hmm.
I hired an offensive coordinator, but it is our offense that's kind of grown and developed over the years. And, Tyson is a guy that gave us the ability to do a lot of different things.
He said, Coach,
And
he said yesterday that the offense he's running now with the Bears is, quote, very similar to the one he studied for 4.5 years with you. Is that true to your knowledge?
well,
Have you seen Luke Getsy's playbook? I'm wondering.
I haven't seen his playbook, but we study a lot of football here. And, we would a lot of the same concepts, I can see on Saturday evenings, like Division I football. Same concepts you see in the NFL. It just is happening a lot faster. We've had other guys that play in the league, and they've kind of shared with me, like, hey, coach, it's not. You just got to understand the verbiage and apply the verbiage at the team they're playing for with what we did here. And I think it's a little more obviously detailed in the NFL, but I think the base concepts are very similar. Yes.
Have you talked with Luke Getsy either at Senior Bowl time or since?
I have not. I was at the Senior Bowl, had a chance to watch practices, had a chance to visit with Tyson, obviously, while we were down there. He was telling me about his day and what the practices were like. And I think the day I was down there, I was like, they were practicing the low red zone offense. And of course, I'm at dinner with them. I was like, all right, man, tell me about the concepts, because we're always looking for something to be good in the low red. And I figure, and believe me, when Tyson comes back, I'm going to be picking his brain for good concepts that'll fit our schemes.
Ernie McCook is our guest, Tyson Bagent's coach at Shepherd University. So you say Drew Brees, like, this is an opportunity. We don't know how many games he's going to get, but it sounds like you think it's in play that, not that you would knock Justin Fields or anything like that, but you think it is in play that he operates the offense at a high enough level to prove to the Bears or someone else that he is ready to be a starting quarterback in the NFL.
That question that is better answered by the Bears coaches. I just believe in Tyson. I think Tyson's got just tremendous characteristics. And if he's starting for the next 10 years in the NFL playing at a high level, I will not be surprised. And I think I said it during his pro day. I was interviewed, and one of the questions was, well, do you got any advice for the NFL teams that are looking at him? And I said, the division, the BCS teams missed on him. Don't make the same mistake they did. Wow. And I think the Bears did a great job. I thought that, it was really obviously to Tyson's advantage to be in the Senior Bowl, to play for Luke Getsy down there. Luke he knows Shepherd University, coached at IUP. So, I don't think it was, having their coaches see Tyson operate, how he handled himself, how he studied film, how he watched film, how he could communicate in the film room, and then translate it to the practice field, and also then translate it on the field in the Senior Bowl. I think they saw it. They saw enough that they liked, where he was good enough for them to sign as a unrestricted free agent. And then he battled. He worked his butt off all summer to be the best he possibly could be when he came back to Chicago for camp.
Do you remember those IUP teams when Luke Getsy was there? 2012. They didn't pass a lot. They ran it a lot.
No, that's good. They were ground and pound, man. And we were probably ground and pound too. But if either one of us would have had good Tyson Bagent as quarterback, we would have been airing it out, no question.
One more scouting thing on Tyson. The interception was, it was kind of ugly, underthrown. The footwork didn't look very clean. What would you say about his arm strength?
Oh, I know he's got great arm strength. And I know that's something he's worked awful hard at. He is a underrated athlete. He is very athletic. He can move in the pocket. He keeps his eyes downfield. Believe me, I'm sure he would love to have that play back. And again, how he described it in the press conference yesterday, hey, he felt pressure, couldn't step into the throw, but, I think he took like, man, I think DJ Moore on a go route, and he liked that matchup. And I think it was his competitive nature to make that throw, make that play. And when he could go back and look at it, he wishes he would have avoided the rush, dumped it off to the check down. And I think he said it best, live to play another play. And, those things happen at our level. They happen at the BCS level. They also happen in the NFL. Live to play the next play. And those are some learning experiences you'll have. But, I think even Drew Brees probably had some plays he'd like to get back late in his career.
Yeah, for sure.
You're leaning into the Drew Brees thing, Coach.
He is.
I like it.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's funny. Like, we've been watching quarterbacks a long time, and a lot of bad ones here in Chicago. I don't know if you've heard, Coach. We've kind of struggled to find a good quarterback in this town. And really what I've ended up feeling is like, you just kind of can't scout until they get on the field whether somebody has that NFL pocket presence, like that, whether it's poise or it's fluid intelligence. We had a former front office guy in here who called it that, like just that thing that lets people truly be the best version of themselves when the greatest football athletes in the world are charging them, we're hoping Tyson has that. And do you think he has that kind of poise and pocket presence, that fluid intelligence?
100%. I know he has it. I can confirm to you that he has it. And the other thing that I'm going to share with you, he's buying into the Bears system. I can hear how he was talking. A lot of the things he was repeating at Wednesday's press conference were things like, hey, the coaches had sat down with him, reviewed the film, and said, these are things you got to be better at. These are things you got to be prepared for when they go into this Sunday's ball game against the Raiders. So he is a student of the game. But as far as I'm the O-line coach here, and I was the O-line coach for the 4 years that Tyson played. So I can tell you, he kept us out of giving up a lot of sacks because he has great ability to deliver the ball where it needs to go. He gets the ball out on time. He doesn't hold it. And he can also move within the pocket, within the B gaps to avoid rushes and still deliver the ball. He is a unbelievable workaholic when it comes to football. He will work every day to be the best player he possibly can be, and he will use any resource necessary to become a better player.
If I told you that people around here were talking about him like Brock Purdy or last pick in the draft, Mr. Irrelevant, or it worked with Kurt Warner and he was bagging groceries, or Tom Brady, pick 199. Like, is that an insult to how good he was? Is it an insult to Shepard, or is the comparison fair? Like, if we were lumping him in those types of categories, if it actually worked for Tyson Bagent, what would you say?
It's 100% fair.
Okay.
He's against the odds. I think playing quarterback in the NFL is the toughest thing to do in sports, probably. There's 32 teams. Most teams only have two quarterbacks, and a lot of them will have, journeymen. So there's not a lot of opportunities for new quarterbacks to break into the league and then make the team and then get to a position where they're willing to put you on the field to represent their organization. But again, nothing that has happened with Tyson to this date has surprised me or will surprise me.
Man, Ernie McCook, Tyson Bagent's college coach at Shepherd. Have you ever arm wrestled his father, Travis? Did Travis hang around the team at all during the 4 years?
My first year coaching here, I had Travis in class. I taught a class. And so he's a big, impressive guy. And I went back into the football offices and I said, man, I got this dude in my class. And I said, and I told him who he was. And our D coordinator at the time, Jeff Castile, said, he plays baseball. I was like, holy cow, if dudes like that are playing baseball, man, our football team is going to be okay. And, but no, his dad is, I've known the Bagent family since I got here in 99 as an assistant coach. Our families went to go to the same church here in town. So I've watched Tyson grow up. I've watched him through high school, and I was, very fortunate, one, to coach him in college. But I consider our families friends, and I have a really good spot in my heart for Tyson Bagent, more than just the greatest player that played for us. He's somebody I believe in as a person. He's just got a lot of great characteristics, and I think the Chicago Bear fans, the fan base, will be proud that he is wearing your colors.
It's an incredible story, Coach. Ernie McCook from Shepherd University on Tyson Bagent. Thank you, Ernie. This was really enjoyable. We appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys having me on. Go Bears.
All right. There we go. Go Shepherd.